So before we get into this video real quick, Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson. I'm pretty sure the majority of you heard about that little fight or whatever. I want to talk about that real quick. I might have another vid on that, and just kind of start it off with that, and then we'll trickle it down into this topic here. As you can see, it was kind of whack. We'll get into more detail about that later. And it's just one of these things that you do for, the attention and the monetization grab, and everyone kind of sees through it now. So that is what I call the start of a new trickle-down system where you can't take anything seriously anymore. And for better words, entertainment is not entertaining. Entertainment is kind of what everything else that is supposed to be more on the serious side, even when it comes to things like, politics, when it comes to things like the court system, when it comes down to things like, business. These are all things that are supposed to be serious, but it's now more so just entertainment and to see what we can pick off of it. Okay, but we'll get into that later. Be aware of content creators with intentional disagreements for viewership. So, what they're talking about may be a serious topic point, right? But it's not really about the talking point. It's about what they can feed off of what's happening. And if there could be someone else who can play a role that's not exactly on the same direction, but it's the same subject matter, then they can incorporate this person and make it look like something that it's really not, like a disagreement, and then adds a bunch of external stuff that has absolutely nothing to do with the starting point to it. So I'm not judging, we're not nitpicking, and we're not snooping, but there's a reason to why we're breaking this down, so you can see through it and you could be willing to, judge for yourself on, whether you even need to pay attention to it. YouTubers, this is something that's kind of happening where it's a trickle down system, because now you're starting to see smaller, creators who are influenced by the big ones straight up just swag jack their stuff, straight up just take their stuff. You get what I'm saying? Even if they were the ones who started it, but now you're starting to see that people can't really think for themselves, right? Would it be foolish to assume that these YouTubers who are having beef and these disagreements and problems, right, really don't? And in fact, maybe it was just set up. They were already speaking about it before just to get the views, because it's just about that. It's not about the actual subject matter. We're all waiting to see what they show us, and we all know that. So don't always believe what you see is real or true, because I got the belief or an opinion, that is just staged. And the reason I brought up this whole Mike and Jake thing that we're going to speak on later is because that's the starting point. An example of a starting point. We could speak about any other starting point. Politics, people who are getting hurt, things that happen to people, things that they're showing for us to talk about. So what's the moral of this? It's not as entertaining as it used to be. We're low key, everyone unconsciously is purposely doing something to unconsciously know that there's going to be a future reference that'll go back to it, to where you can get, what I'm saying, this new way of mainstreaming and stuff like that, and media, this new way of making it in the world, What did we have? Not everything is as spicy as you think. From here on out, after seeing that whack ass fight, after seeing everything that you see, is just not that there's always something that's different reason to what you think is the actual reason, and is all of selfish type stuff too. It's not as spicy as you think for you to engage and to take your focus off real tasks, because that was whack. Imagine if you had actually paid for that, because you're giving all your energy to fake content that doesn't have the real disagreement energy or issues behind it. These people got together behind to act like they were going to disagree about it, to make that the more surface topic, other than what the actual mainstream article was about in the first place. Summary: it's WWE more than it's real. even if it's real. That's how bad it is. It's WWE, even if more than it's real, even if it's real. Be aware of content creators with intentional disagreements for viewership, yo, because what you're watching is some ring around the rosy merry-go-round is not even happening. And now you're not going to even be aware of this, and you might even start doing it too. And that's what we have right now.